Dorothy guiding with Scrapbooking Quebec. Today I'm here for the Scrapbook Nerd online shop, and I'm going to be creating a 12 by 12 layout featuring Echo Park's Hello Valentine Collection Kit. I love collection kits, especially when I want to create a quick and easy layout. It's like a grab and go product. There are papers, stickers, cut aparts, everything is there and everything matches. Here is what I've selected from Hello Valentine, and it is worth mentioning that when I got this collection, I had absolutely no intention of scrapbooking Valentine's Day. I simply fell in love with the colors. The wood grains, black and whites with reds and pinks. I loved it all. Also, I will be using some dies today, the wooden alpha die set by Memory Box, and I'll be sharing a trick to use that you can use with any alpha die set. All of these products came from the Scrapbook Nerd online shop, so I will link up the shop as well as everything I use in the description box below. So without further ado, let's get started. And I did do a bit of preparation in advance. I prepared a frame style foundation with 3 sheets of paper. I gutted 2 of them. There is a tutorial on my channel where I explain how to do that, so that will be listed below. I just showed you I rounded the corners on that white cardstock, and I did mat, actually I double matted a 6x4 photo, and there is foam adhesive behind it. I'm just showing you the collection pack that I have, the cover sheet, along with the solids pack. There is a solids pack that goes with it. Here are the papers that I selected from this collection, and I do have some scraps of paper, mostly the paper that I gutted from behind the foundation page. That's the 12 by 12 sticker sheet that comes in the collection pack. So yes, Valentine's Day is written on it, but it's full of flowers, banners, hearts. I'm going to have no problem using it whatsoever. And I also have a cut apart sheet from this collection that I already cut apart. And honestly, in these 12 cards that I'm showing you, only 3 mention Valentine's Day. I keep mentioning this because when I bought it, I had no intention of using it for Valentine's Day. So I think I'm kind of justifying myself. Anyway, I absolutely love it. I am showing you those alpha dies that I'm going to use along with those Be Creative tape sheets, and I'll talk about that later. And I do have a basket of tools on my desk. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut up 3 papers. I'm cutting them in strips, different widths, different lengths, and what I'm going to do is create a shelf at the bottom of the page where I will be housing my photo a bit later on. And I will put measurements for this on the screen a bit later on as well when I place it to the page. Now, when I selected these papers, I was aware to select kind of different scales of print. So I have that striped paper there, which I absolutely love. Then there are those pots of flowers, which is kind of a large scale print. And then there is a tight scale floral print. So I was aware I wanted them to be different scaled prints. Now, before continuing with the shelf, I do want to cut myself out a planner page. So I have a piece of graph paper, which is from the Woods collection from Simple Stories. I have it in my scrap room all the time. It's a basic. One side is wood grain. The flip side is either graph paper or lined paper. And I'm cutting out a planner page with it. And that is a die from Elizabeth Craft Designs. And again, that will be linked below as well. So that's going to be a layering piece, that planner page, along with my journaling box. So now I'm going to place everything on the page just to give you an idea where I'm going with this. So I'm placing my shelf, kind of overlapping the pieces at the bottom, and I'm making sure not to center anything. It's towards the bottom of the page. You can see where I'm placing that planner page over on the right, and then my photo on top of all of that. Now, before adhering my shelf, I am going to apply a bit of ink. So this ink is Morning Mist by Versifying Claire, and I'm just adding a light touch around all of the edges of this shelf. It's something I like to do when I create layered looks on a page with paper, but also when I combine different pattern papers. It just helps everything become more cohesive and it brings everything together. But again, I'm not very heavy-handed on the ink. I don't like heavy inking, but a little bit goes a long way. So you can see how I'm going to place everything, but there is one important element missing, and that is my title. So that's what we're going to do right now. And my title is going to be multi-font. So what I'm going to be doing is mixing up die cut letters with thickers. And the first thing I'm going to do is make my die cut letters, and I'm going to be creating stickers with it. So I'm showing you this tape sheet here. It is by Be Creative, and I'm showing you those alpha dies by Memory Box. If you look at them closely, there's actually a wood grain motif on them. They are super beautiful, and you will see them better in the still shots at the end of this video. Those dies, I will put the measurement on the screen. I think they are about 1.5 to 1 3/4 inches big. They're really a nice size. So what you saw me do there is basically decide how much paper I'm going to need. Now what I'm going to do is back that paper in this Be Creative tape sheet, and then what I will do is run this through my die cutting machine, and it's going to cut out some self-adhesive letters. Super nice. Another way I like to use letter dies is to create letters with fun papers. Now, these are going to be floral alphas, which is really kind of fun because it's not something you often see when you purchase sticker packs. Sometimes you do, but rarely. Anyway, as you can see, my paper is back now. I'm putting my alphas on top of it. My title is going to be So Much Love. So much is going to be in these floral alphas, and love is going to kind of overlap that with thickers, and you'll see that in a little bit. So I'm running it through the Big Shot here now. And what this does is that basically, in my Big Shot anyway, the letters cut out perfectly. They are nice, but the wax paper that is on those tape adhesive sheets doesn't seem to be cutting, and I'm okay with that. So I'm placing my letters on my own wax paper so that I can play around with placement a little bit. I'm just thinking right now when I'm looking at this video, I probably could have peeled away that outside of the word, meaning the part that I don't need, and I would have had my letters stuck on the adhesive sheet that was there, but whatever. I put mine on wax paper and it's working for me. So now what I'm going to do is play around with placement of my title. So at this point, I do want the word love in something different, and I have a few different alphas here. The larger ones are from Simple Stories. The small one is from another thickers pack. I think it's from a collection called Twilight. I decided to go with the large black letters, so I put that on wax paper, and now you can see how I plan to overlap it. Now I do realize so much is pretty subtle, but in person you can see it, and you will see that better in the still shots at the very end. I have my embellishing around me here. Now I do know I want 2 main embellishment clusters to create kind of a diagonal design that's going to be in the top left and the bottom right. But before I can get to that, I am going to adhere this shelf to the page. And in a moment, what you're going to see me do before I adhere the planner page, I do want to stamp a little bit on that planner page before I adhere it to the page. So that's what you're about to see me do right now. I'm going to get out a stamp set that's on my desk at all times. I use it all the time. It's by Elizabeth Craft Designs. It's called Vacay Phrases. Even though this is a Mother's Day layout and it has nothing to do with vacation, I find I use this stamp set all the time. If you have planner pages, it's a really great stamp set. It's full of words that fit perfectly in those tabs. The one I used is #SoFab. So again, I use that very same ink, Morning Mist by VersaFine Claire. So now what I'm doing is adhering the planner page to the page, but I still will keep my photo and my title separate. I'm going to keep those separate while I make decisions for my embellishment clusters, because the positioning of that may change a little bit. So I have my embellishing around me, and all I have for embellishing is that 12 by 12 sticker sheet from this collection pack, along with that cut apart sheet. That is it. So I'm going to start with the bigger pieces like I always do, and for me, I'm going to grab those cut apart sheets. So I find the heart there, and I find this XOXO, and for me, that's kind of perfect for Mother's Day. I'm happy with that. Now I'm going into that 12 by 12 sticker sheet, and I'm looking for bigger pieces. So I'm pulling out anything that I think will work. Now with those cut apart sheets, the red in the bottom right, I know the first thing I'm going to go for is something red in the kitty corner in the top left. I want a repetition of that color. So what you're going to see me do is take that sticker truck and stick that there. And for me, it's actually perfect because this is a Mother's Day layout and I am hiding behind 2 bouquets of flowers, one from each one of my children who both arrived at my place independently with bouquets of flowers to me. So this is kind of delivering flowers. That truck with flowers, which has nothing written on it about Valentine's Day, works perfectly. So you can see I've tucked in a few other stickers in each one of those areas as well. Some of them are under the photo, some of them are overlapping the photo, and I'm just playing around and making sure I like where everything is right now. I will need some finishing touches, but at this point I have a bunch of loose pieces on my desk, so I do want to adhere what I've decided upon, and then I'll come in with the finishing touches. You can see I cut that XOXO sheet in half because the rest of it was going to be hidden, so I can use that on another project. And now I'm adhering all of this down. In a moment, in the top left, well, you can see it there right now, I have like a sticker, I'm actually working with it right now, that is tucked between the photo mats. That is a sticker that does have Valentine's Day on it that I'm repurposing. And I do this often with these collection kits that are super themed and I'm not using them for the particular theme. I actually turned it upside down. The part that's tucked behind my photo has something written about Valentine's Day, but what I'm using is the bottom half of it that has flowers on it, and I'm having it stick out of my photo, and I'm really happy with that. So before adhering my photo and the embellishments up there in the top left, I do start with that title. I don't make you watch all of it, but it was really a joy to be able to just stick those down with those self-adhesive letters that I created with my Big Shot. Now you can see I'm kind of overlapping the word love, sort of on top of so much, and I'm happy with that, and I'm ready to place my photo. I want the word love to just come above that photo, and it is overlapping that planner page, but I like how it fills in the gap there. That way there's no kind of trapped space between so much and the photo. So I'm happy where love is, and I adhered my photo down. It is on foam adhesive, so it's popped up a bit, and then I tucked that truck in. So I have one more sticker there at the bottom right, and I'm playing around with it, but I do kind of want it to overlap my photo. So what you're actually going to see me do is back that with a bit of extra scrap cardstock because I'm going to want to pop half of it up on foam adhesive because it's going to be overlapping the photo, which is already popped up. So I want it to be kind of flush, and that's what you're seeing me do right now. I'm almost finished here. I will have to come in and do some finishing touches. What I feel like I need at this point is another black element in the top left, almost to kind of reinforce that diagonal design with black. I end up putting a little tiny sticker on that truck that says special delivery. And anyway, at this point, I can't find anything to go on it, so I leave it be. But what I end up doing, aside from my journaling, of course, is I ended up adding 2 enamel dots down on that shelf at the bottom. And that, even though this is a diagonal design because of the placement of those 2 main embellishment clusters, by adding those 2 enamel dots at the bottom, it almost created a subtle visual triangle with the black. I have basically the 2 enamel dots along with love at the top. But that is it. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd greatly appreciate a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to the Scrapbook Nerd YouTube channel, we would be absolutely thrilled if you did. And the same thing for my channel, Scrapbooking Quebec. Make sure you head on over to the Scrapbook Nerd shop to check out these supplies and tons more. They have tons of these collection packs, which are really quick and easy to use. Anyway, I put a bunch of links below. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you soon on YouTube. Bye-bye.